What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you new to the channel, my name is Vince Warburton and this is VW Fitness. Today we're going to talk all about the last ingredient that I look for in pre-workouts, electrolytes. So there it is, guys. I do videos every single week. Obviously, we are finishing up Review-Miss, as I'm calling it, here in a few days, guys, unfortunately. But we have a ton more content coming, guys, so stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe and bell for notifications. Now, what are electrolytes and why would I talk about electrolytes? Why would that be the fifth thing on my list that I kind of look for in a pre-workout? Well, first off, I'm going to disclaim and kind of open this whole conversation with the fact that, guys, I am not a doctor, I'm not a physician, I'm not a nurse, I am not a healthcare professional, okay? My knowledge, everything that I know is based on my own research, everything that I've kind of learned throughout the years, and it's honestly just my opinion on everything that I know. And I want to bring the education to you guys and kind of give you my take on a lot of these subjects. So make sure that you always do your own research. I want to make sure I fully disclose that. Always make sure you check with your doctor or physician before you take any supplement. I think that's a very important conversation. Obviously, we will talk about that later as we get into another video. I'll kind of discuss why I kind of say that more often than not, especially now more than ever. So let's get to today's topic. We're on the last ingredient, guys, and I know it's not necessarily just one ingredient. This is kind of a group of ingredients that we are talking about, but essentially electrolytes are found in the body. Whether you supplement it or not, they are basically minerals that are found within your body that help you stay hydrated. Obviously, you lose electrolytes through sweat and urination. It just naturally happens. That's kind of how the body works. But for me, I'm first gonna just kind of talk about why this is the last ingredient and kind of why this is important, because I'm sure a lot of people are probably pretty confused as to why I would say electrolytes is my top 5 ingredients that I'm kind of looking for. Well, first off, this is based on me and kind of what I'm tailoring my pre-workouts for. And that kind of goes into a deeper conversation that I'll have in tomorrow's video in terms of my top 5 pre-workouts of 2019. But in terms of this, I'm always looking for things that are naturally I need to supplement due to the strenuous exercise that I put into the gym, due to the strenuous diet that I may be following. Right now, I'm not necessarily on a strict diet. I'm not tracking right now. Calorically, I'm like fine. I'm good. But you know, we are still working out very, very hard as we can. We are trying to bulk a little bit, gain a little bit more muscle, you know, get those gains. And so when I look at a pre-workout, you know, we talked about the other 4 ingredients and they're kind of staple ingredients. I'm sure you guys kind of figured out that I would more than likely talk about at least a couple of those. This one's probably the one that you're like, why? I just find that electrolytes are so important. Hydration is so important. So many times more than not, we are dehydrated. We tend to not drink enough water. We overdrink energy drinks, pre-workouts, things that can dehydrate us, you know, high salty foods, etc., that cause us to be very dehydrated and we don't even know it. And by the time we do realize it, as they say, it's too late. We're already dehydrated. I think electrolytes are very important. That's kind of why we're going to talk about it today. So what are electrolytes? So essentially, like I said, they are minerals. They're found in, like I said, urine, sweat, blood, any fluid that is within the body pretty much. They start out as minerals and then they kind of turn into electrolytes within the body. And they either hold a positive or negative charge depending on the kind of electrolyte. So a lot of different minerals we're going to talk about here, guys, and we'll try to keep the video as kind of precise as I can, but that's kind of what electrolytes are. So which minerals are we talking about here, guys? Just to name a few, obviously the big ones is going to be sodium, magnesium, calcium, potassium. Those are kind of the key ones, the big ones. There's obviously a lot more. There's iron. You know, I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here. You know, those are kind of some of the key minerals that make up electrolytes. So kind of the key thing here, guys, with electrolytes is it revolves around hydration, right? We're talking about how these electrolytes are within our fluids. Obviously, you know, it's somewhat similar to the whole calories in, calories out. It's similar with the body, you know, fluids in versus fluids out. And research has shown that like literally 1 to 2% in imbalance with being dehydrated, with, you know, fluids being out versus fluids coming in, can significantly decrease the athletic ability of one's ability to perform. So this is a very important thing when it comes to athletes, professional athletes. Obviously, they have a sports medicine team. They have hydration specialists, I'm sure, on like NFL teams, basketball teams. You know, like they have these people that make sure that these athletes really stay hydrated and take the right electrolytes. So one of the other bigger things with electrolytes is it's not only hydration, guys, it also helps with nerve function, okay? And what I mean by that is obviously right now we're talking, we are doing things, my brain is firing off millions of signals to basically make me talk, make me move, make me do all these things. And within those signals is fluid that basically needs to move, you know, sends that charge. And within that charge, like we just talked about, you know, electrolytes have both that positive and negative charge. So that is what can balance the body's ability to send those nerve messages throughout the body. So it's very, very important. So how much electrolytes should we be looking for in our pre-workouts? How much sodium, how much magnesium, how much, you know, of potassium, all these things, how much should we be looking at? Well, it's really dependent. And this is where things get very similar to the conversation I'm gonna have tomorrow, but it's gonna vary completely on body size, male, female, all these sort of things, how much strenuous exercise you do, cardio, you know, what you do day to day. It's gonna vary obviously on a lot of those things, your diet. There's so many variables here that I can't give you a number of what would be the recommended amount of sodium to intake a day or within a pre-workout to fully maintain a healthy balance of electrolytes, because obviously we all sweat differently. Like I sweat heavily. It's just kind of naturally what happens with me. And I sweat more, I guarantee, than 90% of people out there. You know, I've worked out with a lot of friends, a lot of family. They barely break a sweat. Meanwhile, I'm over here just drenched, right? I sit in the sauna. I'm drenched by the time I get out 15 minutes later. Whereas I know some people that literally come out of the sauna 15 minutes later and they barely have like a little sweat stain right here. So there's not really a right or wrong amount in terms of what you should be looking for in a pre-workout. And I know that's kind of a catch-22 answer, but at the same time, guys, this is why it's very important to start looking at these things. And you know, I've talked about pre-workouts and the main ingredients, and I don't really go through, you know, electrolytes. Why? Because it's very dependent on every person. So it's hard for me to even say like, oh, this is a good amount of sodium. Oh, this is a good amount of potassium. Obviously, we could be getting sodium from our diet. Obviously, we're getting potassium from our diet. So there's a lot of outside factors here that kind of go into electrolytes. For me personally, I take HydroCharge every single day. It's one of those things, one of those products that I firmly believe in. A lot of antioxidants, a lot of electrolytes within there. It tastes great. It's very low calorie. I think it's 5 or 10 calories a scoop, if anything. And it tastes amazing. And it helps me get in those electrolytes that I lose throughout the day, regardless of whether I work out or not. And you know, I like to have my electrolytes in balance. So when do we take electrolytes? So I think personally for me, and again, this is very similar to the conversation I just had, is I think it's beneficial to take electrolytes first thing in the morning, obviously, first thing when you wake up. I think it's good to take pre-workout. During a workout, intra-workout, I'm not too sure. I mean, obviously there's probably a benefit to doing that, especially if you're doing a longer duration workout. But at the same time, you know, you're not losing a ton at that point. And if you took it pre-workout, I think that that's gonna cover you for that intra-workout. And obviously post-workout, I would recommend trying to get some electrolytes in as well. So how long does it take for electrolytes to kind of kick in? How long does it take for the body to process it? Well, it can take as little as 15 minutes, up to 30 minutes, up to 45 minutes, depending on how the body is digesting and absorbing the electrolytes. You know, if you're stacking it with a product such as Upsorb, this is why I kind of talk about Upsorb a lot, because I think it's really important that we take something to try to help with the absorption of these vitamins and minerals. And so if you are doing something like that, and even if you're not, it's important to take those things pre and post workout, because the body is not strenuously going under stress. Okay, when it is under stress, this is where there's like a difference. This is why I say intra-workout, probably not the best time, is that the body doesn't prioritize, you know, digestion and absorption. So it may just be flushing out those electrolytes. It may not even be used at all. So my best timing, you know, would be 15, 20, 30 minutes before a workout. Obviously try to get some electrolytes post-workout. And I would say just in general, try to drink electrolytes throughout the day. Now, what kind of electrolytes are we talking about? I would try to get something that has very little sugar in it. I'd always make sure that I'm drinking enough water and obviously taking in electrolytes through HydroCharge. That is why I firmly believe in that product. I've been on that product for years, since it first came out. I love it. I think it's a great product to kind of look at. And again, guys, this conversation, I'm completely unbiased and like unpaid. This is completely honest, like kind of talk with you guys. I'm not being paid to say, hey, take HydroCharge, look at HydroCharge, take HydroCharge. I just think it's a very targeted product that not a lot of other companies are doing, or personally, any other company that I've worked with or that I've looked at that is specifically doing a hydration only product. The majority of them are like an EAA with hydration or BCAAs with hydration. This is one of those products that's strictly antioxidants and electrolytes. So I firmly believe in that product, and that's kind of why I highly suggest it. You guys check that out. If you guys are interested in any samples, I can send you guys out some HydroCharge. I know I haven't done a review of it. I plan on doing a review of it. I've just kind of been waiting for the right time, and obviously now that we're having this conversation, I think it will open the door for that full review and to talk about it. But make sure you hit up the website, www.vwfitness.club. Hit on that shop, add some free samples. Shipping, guys, is $5 flat fee. I will ship those out first thing. If you guys place your order before 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, it will go out same day. If it is after that, it will ship the next day. So also make sure to leave me a note or shoot me an email with which pre-workout supplements or HydroCharge you would like me to send out. You know, I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. I wasn't sure how the reception was going to be with the audience and how you guys would like them, but I've gotten really positive, good feedback, and I plan on trying to do more of these videos talking about supplements and what they kind of do, what to look for. Obviously, there's a lot of flashy marketing out there, best pre-workout, strongest pre-workout, highest stim pre-workout, all these sort of things, but you don't really look at the label. You just kind of buy it because someone says, hey, this is really good. You should really understand what you're putting into your body, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this series as we kind of go into the top 5 pre-workouts of 2019. I just think that we got to start having these conversations and start talking about these supplements because there's so many different supplements now, more than ever, I would say. And I just feel like a lot of it's marketing and, you know, we're not doing our research. So I'm glad that you guys stopped by, are watching these videos. I plan on doing more here soon. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe and bell for notifications. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.